No, like just angle it down. Nope. Yeah, there you go. Just a little bit. That maybe not that much. Just there. That's all right. Let's run with that. All right. All right. Oh, hold on, Chris. You know what? It could go back like a couple 3 inches there. That's probably good. I want you to be in the picture, right? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Do I have to be?
Oh, you get to be? Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, it's hat night.
Hey, hat night.
Hope everybody else got the memo. Hope y'all have your hats on.
All right.
If not, run to the place you keep hats.
Yeah, get your hat storage.
I don't know where you keep them.
Hey, everybody. This is Matt, and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching Thursday Primetime Guitar. We have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, Chris. Everything that's on these pages here. We have our actual topic tonight, which is, I'm not trying to be controversial. I think when we start talking about it, you'll figure out what I mean. And I also
we wish Paul no harm.
No, of course not. Of course not. And we're going to get to all of that stuff. Plus, if you guys have questions, plus if you guys just want to, say something, if you have a question and if you have a question, your chances are 100% that if you ask it in a super chat, we will answer.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a question and you don't want to do a super chat, that's fine. Put a bunch of like question marks before that, and it is likely that we'll catch it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a question or comment from a while ago, it might already be written down on this sheet right here, on these sheets. But we have something that we want to do first, Chris, and that is an unboxing. What do we have here from the mailbox?
I believe it's wood.
It is. Why don't we open it up? You have your little knife.
You know I got my
little
knife.
So this is a parcel from Steve Mahoney, our friend, also known as Rotbox. And I don't think that is, I don't know how he got that name, but thank you to Steve for sending this to us. It is fragile. It says so.
These post boxes are always fun to open because apparently this has never been opened.
Don't they like kind of have like glue or something on them? Or
yeah.
Fat Philosopher wants to know, enjoyed the painting video. What paint color request pisses Chris off the most? That's a good question. Lefty O wants to know, would a casket made of tone wood last longer? Well, I don't know if it would last longer, but it would sustain longer. Yeah.
People know you're dead from further away.
Yeah. Chris, what color do you what thing do you hate?
I don't
Wow,
know.
You know what? Like so many people are here. Jim is here, Dylan's here, Brian's here, Dastardly Dave, Fat Philosopher, Andrew St. Pierre is here, Jacob and the Ghost is here, Lefty O is here, Van Shank Guitars, Slacker Deluxe, there's Doc is here, Brad is here, Dan is here, lots and lots and lots of people are here. SS is not here, but he is here. So what do we got here, Christian?
Go ahead and read that.
All right.
It appears to be wood.
So, hi, Matt. I had something emails that I gave you a quilted maple book match set. Might use it for a future build, a little outside of the box, Texas Toast Custom. I never heard back from you about it. You know what? I'm the worst at getting back on emails. I am so sorry, Steve. I apologize. So he just decided to just send it on, and wow, get a load of that. So he's thinking that maybe a Challenger, Prostitute, or even a double cut Hamer style. I've also included a Cocobolo fretboard blank that would play nicely in an orange and yellow burst. That's a beautiful piece of timber there. Use it for whatever you like. He says, fancy guitar build, and then there's some other things listed there. Yeah. Do with it what you please, but I would enjoy seeing it in a Friday reveal one day. Have a great 2023. Rotbox, Steve. Thank you so much, Steve. That's very, very cool of you. So this is some quilt maple. And yeah, Lefty, I think you could do a guitar top and a bunch of 1911 grips with that. Doug Santaniello's here. So gang. So thank you to Steve for sending this along. Steve, we will absolutely do something cool with this. AFP probably. And what do you think of
the fretboard too?
Coca-Bolo? That's nice.
Is that what it is?
Andrew St. Pierre wants to know if we can give Steve his address. We absolutely will. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, that's
nice.
Oli. You
Yeah,
can
it
see
is.
from here. How is it?
Tastes old.
Hi, Chris Birch. How you doing? Yeah,
Nice.
this is really nice stuff. Thank you again,
this is
Steve. That's
pretty.
very, very kind of you.
Yeah.
Um,
Where's a pencil? Let me just.
You're gonna put your name on it there. So, all right, now does this count for a $400 guitar build? Because this was gratis.
You have to give it a value. $5.
$5. You have to give it some value, right?
$10.
We haven't talked about the $400 guitar challenge for a little while, but we will.
I need a fretboard, so this works out perfect.
Paul wants to know if it's thick enough for a Les Paul carb top. Not really.
No.
It's close, but not close enough.
That stuff's thick. You don't really realize just how thick it is until you see one that's being made or that's been torn apart.
Yeah, 5/8 of an inch is like the bare minimum you need, and that's like not when it's not glued up. You got to glue it up and then machine it, and if you got 5/8, you got almost barely enough to do it. So yeah.
This will make a real nice top.
This will make a super cool top. Yeah.
Else. Yeah. Or we can make two guitars that are just very, very small.
Very little. Yeah. Okay. So, there is that.
Quilt Maple Steinbergers.
Chris, while Jimmy is here, there is talk of having him come out tomorrow and do a mega reveal of all of the Challenger Deluxes.
I think that's a great idea.
And I think it's going to be, I'd like to call it Dollar Day because that's, we have to get a bunch of dollars and slide them into the backs there. And he's going to sign them. I think we're going to sign the dollars, and maybe we'll write some other stuff on there. I don't know. But yeah. And who knows? Maybe. Oh no! If Brian might come too, which is not an oh no. Brian's coming. It's oh no, my liver it already hurts. So yeah. And I have stuff to do tomorrow night. So yeah. So anyway, Jim says, "Are we doing that tomorrow?" Yes, Jim. If you are available, let's do that tomorrow. We'll do a reveal video, and we'll do some videos of us signing the dollars and putting them in the guitars, and we'll go from there. Brad Hutchings asks, Chris, Jazzmaster with single Curtis Novak classic pickup, volume knob, reverse headstock, or nah?
Maybe. Single pickup. I think you're losing out on some tones.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe reverse headstock. Sure, why not? That'd be fun.
Brad is doing. He's working up CNC programming to do his own stuff. So that's cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
Paul says, "Can you guys just send me a signed dollar?" I don't see why not. I mean, if we had all the
$10.
Yeah, it'll cost you $10. Jim says he will be here. So tomorrow tomorrow's reveal is all the deluxes. They're all done, right?
Did you say Jim says he'll beer or be here?
Be here. He might beer us too. Yeah. But so tomorrow is reveal day with Jimmy, all the deluxes. They're all done. They're all strung up. They have all the parts, and Ike even dropped off cases for us. So we have cases for everything as of today. Yeah.
Yep. So we'll be doing a lot of shipping early next week.
Yes, we will.
Yes.
Rockblock says that the value is about $5. It's scrap wood, Chris. And the LOL. So thank you again, my friend. That was very kind of you. Okay. So guys, before we start going on the actual video stuff, I want to tell you guys about a new feature every Thursday.
Okay.
And it's called StewMac TOTW. That stands for Tool of the Week. Okay. So you guys, if you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen the Tool of the Week, and it's these new well, they're not brand new, but they're Z files.
New to us.
New to us. They're these Z files, and what separates them from the regular Z file is no handle. Okay, which means if you're working close to a guitar body, the handle doesn't bang into the guitar. You know what I mean? So this is exactly the same as the regular Z file, but they come in 2 grits. I want you guys to see this here. So they come in 150 and 300. And I was like, man, I don't know if I want to use 150. And then I tried it, and I'm a total believer.
Yeah.
I run the 150s, and then the 300 cleans up all the scratches. It is absolutely worth the bucks.
Cool.
If you hate fret dressing as much as I hate it, these guys right here are the tools you need. Now, the StewMac tool of the week is listed in the description below. Take that to the link, and it will take you to the StewMac page for the tool of the week. And so you know what these little rubber band things are for, Chris?
I assume they are baller bracelets for when you're on the court later.
That's a good one. It could also be to tell you that one's 150. It could also be to let you know where you bought it. But what I like to do is, because there's no handle, see this, it's kind of pointy right here. And if you've got it in your palm, it pokes you. So what I do is I just slide this, I slide the rubber band up like that. And then when I'm doing it, it doesn't poke me in the hand. I mean, it still pokes me in the hand, but it's like soft, squishy rubber over the thing there. So yeah. So these come in all the different, like original, centered, safety edge. It's they're diamond abrasive, and lifetime warranty on these. So I know what you guys are going to say when you go to StewMac, when you click the link in the description below and you go to StewMac and you go, oh man, it's really expensive. Maybe, but guys, this will save you a lot of time and lifetime warranty. Okay.
The last one you ever buy.
It will absolutely be the last one you pay for. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, link in the description below. Go check them out.
I haven't tried them yet.
That's because I've been hiding. That's because I have been hiding them. So yeah.
Sounds right.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. There you go. Matt's tip of the day.
Yep.
I wonder why they don't make the regular files in the 2 grits.
I don't know. Doc wanted to know what is the normal one. The normal one is 300.
Yeah.
Yeah. Andrew says the 150 Z file works so fast it seems illegal. It really does. It's like cheating. And Doc wants to know, is the rubber there to keep you safe? I don't know. I don't know if that's what the original intention was. But that's what I use it for.
The originals had the rubber. Or I mean the original version of this.
No, I don't.
So I don't know.
Oh no, I think they always had it. Okay. But yeah.
Okay.
So anywho, yeah. So if you have that, it's so easy to use. Even I figured out how to use it. So that is that.
I'm gonna fix my can.
Fix your can up. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed StewMac tool of the day. Link in the description below. All right, tool of the week. Tool of the week. We only do this. Yeah,
you named it.
I know. Paul Hall wants to know, hey guys, please keep a lookout for Walnut Top. It's on its way to you from Maximum Guitars. Paul, I talked with Steve about your guitar. Paul's coming from the UK.
Oh, awesome.
And he's June.
Cool.
He will be the very first person from overseas.
Little known fact, June is actually the snowiest month.
That's right.
So welcome, Paul. No, it's not.
All right. So Chris, we're gonna get to the Paul Reed Smith stuff here in a little bit, but you had said there's so many questions that have been coming in lately that you wanted to answer them in video form, in addition to, because what happens is we start typing and it's like, and then we get more emails and it's like, let's just settle some of these.
Well, sometimes it's just fun to riff on them.
Yeah. Now,
riff, not rip.
Now, we didn't single these out because the people are not that everybody who, well, with a couple of exceptions, you'll see what I mean here in a moment. But yeah, so these are legitimate comments, and we're going to give legitimate responses. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to know what some of these videos are as well.
Yeah, you will.
I might agree.
Okay, yeah. Andy Sacido, who was a subscriber for the last 3 years, one day ago, posted a comment on an old video. I believe it was the "Why are you still using lacquer? It sucks." And he wants to know, what's the flash time between coats of Omni Clear? Now, I answered him on the YouTube, but I want to know what you think.
So we don't use the Omni Clear anymore, but usually the paint will say, it will tell you, and they're usually wrong. I go by the rule. Usually what I'll do is I'll give it, and it gets longer with each coat.
Okay.
So between the first and second coat, 5 minutes. And then a good way to tell is you touch something that has the paint on it, like your paint stick, or you can, a lot of times I'll do like a control cavity or something like that, and touch it. And if you touch it and there's paint strings coming up, it's not time.
Okay.
It needs to be tacky, but not stringy.
And that was for the 277 Omni Clear that we actually don't use that
anymore.
anymore.
But that's a good rule for any clear.
Okay. All right. That's a good one.
And so I'll give it 5 minutes. It'll be, if it's a little stringy, I'll give it a couple more minutes. And then I'll know, okay, well, that was 7 minutes on my, between second and third coat. Maybe I'll give it 10 minutes, 15 minutes. The thing is, you don't have to nail it at exactly that time. You can't be like, oh, it said 7 minutes and it's 7.5 minutes. I better get in there and spray.
Yeah.
It's like, I think 30 minutes or an hour.
So you got a pretty big one.
Yeah. So don't sweat it. Wait until don't rush it, because what'll happen if it's stringy, that means that it might be kind of saggy, and you add another coat and you could sit there and watch it all slide right off the guitar.
You don't
Ask
want
me
that.
how I know.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
All right. A lot of people are interested in UV clear. And, we did that video, and there's a bunch of questions that kind of came up from that.
Okay.
So we'll be getting to some of those. The next one, though, is from Chris Martinez a day ago. I can't remember what video it was, but he says, not impressed at all. This video was terrible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. That's all we need to do on that one. All right. This one came from 2 days ago. Virgil Kelly Jr., publicly subscribed to us for the last 4 months, writes, I'm trying to paint a couple of my guitars that I have modded. I know about trans tint and how to apply it, but I don't know whether to use nitro, enamel, or poly. I'm leaning towards nitro or poly. Do I just get white and figure out how to, I don't know if that means he's going to do a bunch of Coke or something, or do I just get white and figure out how to mix it into the color I want, or are there places to buy the paint I need and want? And where would I get them? Everywhere I look, they just have rattle cans, but I don't want that. I have a spray gun and I want to use it. Okay. So what do you got for Virgil?
So he talks about trans tint. Usually we add trans tint to clear.
Okay.
If you add it to
that's a great one, because it doesn't matter what the clear is.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever the clear is that you're using, lacquer, alcohol. Automotive enamel. It's hard to buy. It's not impossible to buy clear lacquer, but you're not going to find it at most Home Depots or Lowe's anymore.
Yeah.
It used to be that you could find gallons of lacquer.
Even Sherwin-Williams, that big paint outlet, is they don't have it
and
as
I haven't
they used
been to any other like household paint places recently, but I don't think you can buy it there. So you're probably going to want to go to,
all right. So what is that stuff there?
So this is, you can buy lacquer online.
Yep.
There's still outfits that'll sell that to you.
If you're having trouble finding StuMax stuff, again, go to the description. You'll find a link for StuMax.
And you could go with this.
So trans tint, you could just mix right into lacquer,
right in it, spray it,
boom, done.
And spray clear over the top of that.
Now, if you had white paint, could you add trans tint to it?
Yeah, you could. You'd end up with a bunch of creamy colors.
Okay.
Soft brown, creamy yellow, creamy red, creamy, rich and creamy. Yeah.
Okay.
I have tinted stuff a little bit before with some trans tint to maybe, give it a little boost or something like that. But I've never tried to mix a regular color. You could try it. Red might turn out okay with a bunch of trans tint, blue.
Okay. So if you're not using, if you decide to go with lacquer, You want to get, and if you're going to use the term nitro, what you really mean is nitrocellulose lacquer. Okay, so that's cool. If you want to use a modern paint, what is the kind of what's the industry standard name you would use for a modern paint, Chris? That
urethane.
Okay,
Animal.
so we mix ours into something called mid-coat clear, right?
Yes.
Now, is my understanding, anything we used to mix in lacquer, you can mix into mid-coat clear, same.
That's my understanding as well.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yep. And that stuff you buy at an automotive jobber store, an automotive paint store.
You can buy it online from
You can
Tamco.
also buy it online from Tamco,
Okay.
and there's a bunch of places you can buy that stuff. You can also buy virtually any color you'd ever want from any of those places.
That's true.
So if you want metallics, you want solid colors, that's the way to go.
Yep. Doug Santaniello says he had no trouble getting poly from Simtech. Simtech was a great place to get paint products and sealer as well. So, we're going to get to it here in just a second. But so K Sharp wants to know, Matt, do you use the original or the offset Z? Actually, I use the original, which is the offset. So I have some of the centered ones, but I always come back to, I don't know if you can see it, but it's offset.
So what they send us?
So they sent us some originals and they sent us some centered.
Okay.
So get the original and you won't, that's what you want. You want the original.
I like the original best.
Yeah.
The safety edge one is cool too.
Safety edge is good if you're concerned.
If you're concerned with, but yep. I like the original.
Sean Emmenheiser writes, rewatch the neck profiling jig video with 7/8 round over bit. Do you taper for thickness as well as width on bolt-on necks? Yes, we do. Yes, sir, we do.
Actually put a little shim under it, like a 50 thousandths shim under.
It's actually a door shim.
Fret. It is. Yep. Yeah. You're going to do a lot more shaping after that maneuver.
Yep.
So you wouldn't have to.
Yep.
But it helps a little bit.
Yeah.
You're still going to measure a lot and
quite a bit.
Yeah. Matt was doing that today.
I was. That's all I do is make necks. Dom wants to know, is the Simtech sealer water-based or organic? No.
It's none of
it
those.
Is neither one, Dom. Yeah.
It's it smells like Bondo if you've ever used Bondo.
Yeah.
It's very, very polyester smelling stuff. It's far and away the stinkiest product we use.
And you're going to need to mask up. Do not spray it in the Dom. If you are still working in the basement, everybody in the house will smell the sealer, and you will smell like a boat shop for days.
You need to spray it outside and store it in the garage for at least 12 hours. Let it off gas, because if you spray it and then bring it inside, it'll be bad too.
Yep. Okay. Josh Motes, who is a subscriber for the last 3 years, writes, only question so far is how do you fret it with the binding? Now, I can't remember what video this was, but this is a great question, because I think he was like, well, how do I put the frets in if there's binding that prevents the frets from going all the way through? We use a fret end nipping tool for that. StuMac has 3 or 4 different models in 3 or 4 different price points. You can file it if you want, but basically what you do is you cut the tang off the fret so that the fret rides over the binding, but the tang does not poke through the side.
Yep.
So if you go to the StuMac website, you can look up fret tang nipper, and there's a handful of different styles that they have. We've got a handful of videos on them too. So, okay.
And we have a handful of different ones.
Oh, and as a matter of fact, we do.
Own favorite. Actually, I think we like the same one.
I think so too. And Dave says, get the best one, which is, absolutely. Get the best one. You will not regret it.
Fret tang nipper.
Yeah.
Don't cheap out.
Nope.
And don't believe the guys that say you can modify an Amazon tin nipper to do the job.
No.
You might be able to, but
okay. Galaxy Stranger writes, what's wrong with the brass ones? This was on a video where I put inserts in the neck, and I said, probably, this is an old video. I didn't go back and watch the video. I probably said, don't use the brass ones. what's wrong
I
with,
don't like the brass
or
ones,
something.
or these are better than the brass ones.
So he says, what's wrong with the brass ones? I've never, ever used them on a guitar, but I've used them on small wood projects before and never had a problem. I just did what you did, except I did not use the tap. So what's wrong with the brass ones? Well, nothing's wrong with them. They work great for IKEA furniture and
pine.
Yeah, something soft, but the threads they're sharp, but they're not like, I wouldn't want to put them into to rock maple.
No.
So I didn't. When we came up with a way to do steel inserts, there's nothing wrong with brass. Brass is definitely going to last longer than wood.
Mm-hmm.
And I certainly didn't do anything for tone reasons. Okay. I just wanted to make the insert easier to use. So I didn't use the brass ones because I can't figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
I can figure out how to use the steel ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's better. And why would I show you guys how to do something the dumb way when I do it a different way? You know what I mean? I'm only going to show you guys the way I do things. And if I change something, I'm going to make a video about how I changed it. Cool. So you use the steel ones, the easy locks, and buy the tap and actually tap the hole, and they'll slide right in, and you can float super glue in there, whatever. And you will not be disappointed. I'm not saying you can't use the brass ones. I'm saying I don't. And you shouldn't either. I don't know what the problem, but there's nothing wrong with them.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. K Sharp 10, who is a subscriber for the last 6 months, asks, can color tone be mixed with clear UV?
So color tone, I believe, is the stuff that you mix into. That's the Stumac stuff that you make solid colors out of with like clear lacquer, right?
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, it may be. Yeah.
But I don't know if he's talking about.
So this actually does say, so yeah, color tone must be something that Stumac sells.
Okay.
All right.
So I don't know if he's talking about trans tint.
Product placement there.
Does trans tint say?
I believe that says color tone on it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're talking about the same thing.
Okay.
I don't know why you couldn't mix it in with the clear UV, but I don't know why you would want to try.
Okay.
The problem with doing that is you don't ever want to have a tinted color as your top coat if you plan on wet sanding and buffing, because you will make it thinner, which will make the color less dark, and you'll end up with a really splotchy project.
Okay.
So what I would do if you want to shoot something tinted, I would shoot mid-coat clear, regular base coat, mid-coat kind of stuff in whatever tint thing you want, and then shoot the UV over the top of that. And it only takes, you can let the base coat dry for 20 or 30 minutes and then shoot the UV over the top of that, and then you'll be good.
Okay.
Is that a good answer?
Good enough for me, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Doug asks, Matt, can you post a link so I can join, be a member on YouTube? Ben did it for me the other night because the damn iPhone won't. I think you just, there should be just a thing that says join somewhere on the screen.
So, yeah.
I don't
know about on a phone.
If I was smart, I could do it, but I'm not, so I can't. So yeah. But it should be pretty easy to do, Doug, if you're on your computer too. There's probably a join thing. Okay. Michael Jensen writes, what a shit camera work. Okay.
I don't know what video it was.
I don't care.
I might agree. Yeah, you're right.
Chris and I are not YouTube video makers first.
I'm going to prove that this Sunday.
We're going to get to that here in a moment. So Chris and I are guitar builders who happen to make YouTube videos. Mm-hmm. We are not YouTube creators who happen to make guitars that day. So
stumble ass backwards into a guitar build.
Yeah. So I can't stress that enough. People often say you should do this so that you don't have any echo, and you should do that so your lighting is that. And again, I keep coming back to that would be neat and expected if we were content creators first.
Yeah.
But we are guitar makers first and content creators second. So
I don't really mean this in the way that it's going to come off, but you're lucky you're getting anything half the time.
Speaking of which, Chris, tell us about what we can expect for the video that's going to air during the Superb Owl festivities.
Oh man, it is so good.
This Sunday, I'm going to be attending the Superb Owl party.
Yeah, and I'll be I don't know where I'll be, but I am starting my own project, and I'm going to. And so the first episode is this Sunday. It's making a body for this new project.
Okay.
And I filmed it all last Saturday.
Feature length video?
Pretty much.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
It's a long one. Because I'm not any good at editing either. No, it's I think it's good. But anyway, it's cool piece of wood. Lots of pin router action.
Ooh.
If you're down with that.
Okay.
It may have the longest pin router section in the history of Texas Toast, unsped up.
Well, you're going to want to tune in for that.
Yeah.
Even if you're attending a Superb Owl party this Sunday.
Point.
Yeah. You watch it after the Superb Owl.
Boring thing I ever watched.
No one's going to say that. Richard Otterina, who is a longtime fan, says, you guys have done clear coat fretboards in the past. Can you do that with the new paint system? I think he wants to know, like, we did those colored fretboards, like the whole neck was blue or the whole neck was red or something.
Yeah.
Red neck.
Yep. Yeah, we can still do that.
So same idea though. You wouldn't mix the tint into the UV cure. You would spray the neck with the stuff, and then you'd hit it with.
Everybody is a little bit confused. You can still use all the colors, all the trans tints, all the anythings in between UV sealer and UV clear. Hold
on, don't get too ahead of yourself because that's the next question.
Okay.
So let's take a couple more questions. Thank you for that, Richard. Brad Guitar Miller writes, when wiring a tele harness, how often is the ground to the bridge needed, and how important is the grounding both pots? FYI, played TTG Tele live, killer tone. Very cool, very excellent. And Brian Duncan sent us a super chat that says, F that guy. I don't know who he's talking, but Brian's a good guy.
The video guy.
The shit guy, yeah.
So
Brad Guitar Miller wants to know some tele wiring stuff.
Okay, so what was the first part? The bridge ground.
Bridge ground.
So if the pickup has a metal base plate,
there's a metal plate,
and the bridge is metal.
Yep.
And you've got metal screws, you don't need a bridge ground.
Nope.
Because the pickup has the ground already on it, and it will go to ground.
Yep.
Does that make sense? Now, if the pickup doesn't have a base plate, then you
fiber
do have
board
to. Then you do have to. Or if the bridge is, something else, then you do. Okay. The other question was ground
both
pots. If the plate is chrome, and I always test it with a multimeter.
One of Chris's favorite games to play is
conductive, non-conductive.
Is this saltwater conductive?
Yeah. So, but so not as much stuff. A lot of people overground stuff, and it doesn't hurt anything. It just looks sloppy. So there's not as many grounds for a tele as you need. You don't really have to. You could run the pickup to a pot, and your output jack to the other pot, and on the metal plate, be good.
Bada bing.
Yeah.
K Guitar Works asks, if you're using lacquer, would you still use Simtex sealer as an undercoat and nitro vinyl sealer, both or one or the other? I would pick one.
I would pick one too.
It doesn't matter which one you pick. I would pick one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason that when we were doing lacquer and when we do lacquer again, the reason that we used the Simtex was because it's a faster building product.
Mm-hmm.
You can shoot nitro over it. Other companies do it.
Yep.
And it works really, really well. Vinyl sealer is weird.
Yeah, it's mostly soap. It's
Yeah,
lacquer with soap in it.
Yeah, it's it builds a little more than regular lacquer, but not a whole lot. So
yeah,
it can take a lot of that stuff.
And however, I don't think that you can get the same smoothness that you can with a Simtex sealer kind of product.
Certainly not on porous woods.
But you can get a nice finish. Doc sent us a super chat. He says, I don't know why people are bitching about the videos. This is the only honest reality content on the interwebs. Guitar makers first, content second, safety third.
Yep.
God bless you, Doc. Yep. Thank you so much, my friend.
Safety third.
I'm looking forward to seeing all those guys again when they come out. Doc and Dave.
Sometimes I don't
and
wear
Doug
a respirator because I just like the smells.
Sure. Brian's going to be there. Jim. Guys, the class schedule for this year, guys, is filling up fast. In fact, it's filling up so fast that I think we're going to have to add more stuff in 2023. Okay. So we're going to talk more about that soon. Okay. Finally, the final question before we move on to our big topic, Chris, is from Scott's Mountains, who says, are you guys leaving the trans tint dye type paint system for the UV finish for your go-to finish now?
No. And in
How
fact,
come?
For one, as we just discussed, you can't really add, you can, but it's dumb. You wouldn't want to tint up a bunch of UV product. There's no reason that you still can't use a sealer, base coat, clear coat system, like we've always used.
In fact, that's still what we do.
The only difference is instead of pouring in a catalyst, it's already built in, and the UV light is the catalyst, and you hit it with the UV light. Mm-hmm. It's all about time saving. And that's important for us for classes.
Yeah.
We'll still use the 2850 Simtex sealer that we've used for forever. Mm-hmm. We'll still use Tamco Clear and our 73 finish and all of that. But we'll also, when we need to, we can implement the UV thing. Let me break it. Let
me break it down to you this way.
Break it down.
So when you have raw wood, if you're going to use a pore filler, we have a ultraviolet cure pore filler now that we really like. Yep. It's from Simtex.
Yep.
So raw wood, pore filler, ultraviolet light to activate it, sand it down.
Everything will get that.
Yeah. Sand it down, and then you go to your sealer coat. Now, I don't care if you're using vinyl sealer from Stuart McDonald or if you're using Simtex sealer with the MEKP, or if you're using UV cure sealer, it doesn't matter. Use your sealer. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then use your color coat. Wait, hold on, wait a second. If your sealer has a activator, whether it's photo activation or chemical activation, or just dries in the case of vinyl sealer, that's what you want to do. Then do all that stuff, sand all that stuff down, get everything nice and smooth. Mm-hmm. Then you spray your colors. Mm-hmm. Colors can either be see-through colors, opaque colors, metallic colors, metal flake colors, any of that stuff.
No matter, and you can, So everything we use is some sort of urethane.
Yep.
Urethane metallics, urethane solid colors, urethane clear urethane with trans tint.
Yep.
Candy colors.
Yep.
Let's just call them candy colors.
Okay.
And that stuff dries really fast.
No, you don't need a catalyst with that.
Nope. You spray it on, you let it sit for 30 minutes. I let stuff sit for an hour if I've masked a bunch of it off.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Okay.
And then it's ready for clear.
Top coat.
Yep.
And if you're using lacquer, you just hose it on there, and that's that. Yep. And you got to let it sit if you're using top coat that is ultraviolet, you do like we did in the video. A coat every 30 minutes per the instructions, and then you hit it with the UV cure. Boom, done.
Yep.
If you're using catalyzing top coat, you just follow the instructions and bada bing.
Yep. Yeah.
So
it's a very similar system to what we've been using. The only difference is it's a little faster because the UV makes it dry instantly.
Yeah.
But
So
it's the same thing. And we've shot. I did. What have I done? I don't know.
hey, I
It's all good.
think Kiki Kaloje is in the house.
Oh yeah,
He is.
there you go. All right.
He is here. Kiki's here, and he's totally blown away with my hat. Thank you, Kiki.
Something.
Little, something, something.
I know we did 2 trans tint.
He wants to know
guitars.
if I bartered some fry bread for this hat. As a matter of fact, I love fry bread.
We did 2 trans tint limbo guitars with the UV top coat.
Maybe we'll show it. You want to show them real quick? Rick B wants to know, have you thought about doing a build with StewMac finishing products and filming it? As a matter of fact, Rick, we have thought about that a lot. As a matter of fact, I think what we're going to be doing, it's something that we want to offer is a video series called Two Guitar Builders Build a Kit from StewMac. And I think we might want to offer that as an online workshop that you guys can do, or maybe we'll do something. Doc wants to see the Limba. Woo, Lord of mercy. So what are we looking at here?
This is a Limba thin carved top Challenger, done in the only color that you can do Limba.
The one true and holy
color. It's a national law, I think.
It is. It is now. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's vintage amber.
Okay. So these guys will be, actually, we've ordered all the hardware for these guys, and they will be, isn't that one mine? Doug, I want you to hold out. We've got some really good stuff coming. Really, really good stuff coming, Doug. Yeah. So, but this one could be yours.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, this is regular trans tint mid coat clear mixture, just like on all our stuff.
Just like we always did. Yeah.
New UV top coat.
Yep.
Just to see how it worked.
And it worked like $100 million.
Yep.
Okay. We got a couple of those. Okay. So guys, I want to talk about the topic that we went off the rails here, but the topic that we were talking about today was, and guys, you need to know that I do not wish any ill on anybody, especially Mr. Paul Reed Smith, who is, I'm a mega fan. I'm a super fan. If Paul Reed Smith walked through that door, I would be starstruck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I bought his guitars. He didn't buy mine. And I bought his guitars back in the 80s. I had to drive 8 hours because you couldn't go to Guitar Center in anywhere USA and find a Paul Reed Smith. But yeah, I had to, Paul needs, I hear you. We're going to get to that. But the idea is none of us are going to live forever, much as we might all want to. And eventually the owners of all the companies that you know and love either sell the company or they pass away. And my question is, what's going to happen? What would happen if Paul Reed Smith died? Not because I'm wishing ill on anyone.
Right.
But Paul Reed Smith is the last guy who is a name that most guitar players know, who is still connected with the company. You could say, what about Grover Jackson? Well, yeah, what about him? The Jackson name is owned by Fender now, and Grover Jackson's still doing a lot of good stuff. But, and we're getting to this, Wayne Charvel, I don't know. Well, Leo Fender is not at Fender and hasn't been since 1964.
Yeah, the beginning of well, so he worked. 65 is when the company got sold, like January 9th or 10th. Is when the official thing came over. He worked there for another couple years, but apparently did nothing but tinker around in his office. So didn't actually do anything.
So the idea is, what happens when the figurehead goes away? And like I say, one of the last guys, if you guys can name someone who's as famous as Paul Reed Smith, who owns a guitar company, I'll wait. Let me know who it is. And it's got to be somebody that Joe Blow at Guitar Center knows the name. You know what I mean? It can't be like Doug Cower still owns Cower guitars, but not everybody knows Doug.
Yeah.
You know, but Paul Reed Smith is synonymous with the guitar company as Leo Fender was. But, you know, there's nobody at Fender now who was there at the inception of the company. You can't say that about Paul Reed Smith, because whether he's actually there or not, day to day, and I don't know, he probably is, he might not be. He's still a figurehead at that organization. I don't even know if he's still the owner. I have no idea. But what's going to happen? What would happen if Paul Reed Smith were to sell the company, or you know, in 100 years from now, Paul Reed Smith shoved off this mortal coil, shrugged off this mortal coil.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that everybody who had a guitar that was like when Paul was alive would go, I got a Paul one. Mm-hmm. This one that came out after that, that's not as good. Is it a setup for more snobbery?
It absolutely is, I think. Mm-hmm. And yeah, because it already sort of is a thing. Yeah. Oh, well, this is one of the originals, or, you know, or this is the original factory one. This is the original factory. This is the original. This is back when Paul was on the floor, whatever. Yeah. And yeah, it's just another way to separate your guitar from everybody else's. Yeah. And whether the new people that are heading it up and marching it forward, whether they change anything, the old guitars will automatically be better. Yeah. With no evidence, no evidence needed. Yeah. The old guitars are better. Yep. Paul's not there. Yep. The old guitars are better. Yep. I'm seeing a real decline in quality control. Mm-hmm. Will be the first sentence uttered.
I know, you know, our friend Jim Fuller who is the original owner of Rifle Dynamics. Uh-huh. I have one of his rifles that he built for me. And as soon as he sold the company, it was like overnight. Mm-hmm. Oh, I've got a Jim Fuller era RD gun.
And all of a sudden those people become the authorities on what is a good and
what is a good one
good item. And until you have one of the supposed good ones, one of the Paul era guitars, and you don't even have to have one of the new ones. No, you can just have the old one and go, oh, this is way better.
Yeah. In fact, you're encouraged to not have a new one. And just say
I was curious. Yeah. Yeah. I went shopping. I looked at it. I wasn't impressed.
It's sort of like you can go see Leonard Skinner now with no original members. I mean, it's the same songs, but some of those guys have been there for so long that, you know, like, is Fender really so is one of the reasons that vintage Fenders are so sought after is because they're old, or because Leo Fender might have looked at that one or might have gone, waved his hand. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's that whole romanticism of old stuff and fetishism of old things. And yeah, I like the idea that Leo Fender somehow touched any guitar ever.
He may not have.
No, not in a day-to-day factory setting.
So the comment section is blowing up. Even Big D himself has decided to hang out with us. So yeah. Man, I don't even know where to begin, but thanks for Rotbox says Bernie Rico's been gone for a while now. And I would bet you that some of those original 70s BC Riches are in a whole different class than
that company's been through so many hands. It's hard to even see the beginning of that company.
Joe McCarthy says Benedetto. Brian Duncan says, how about Dean Zielinski? How about him?
So except he's kind of like the Leo Fender, because he's got a new company.
He does
doing it,
and that's what Big D was talking about. G&L and
Zielinski's building guitars like he wanted to back in the day, or you know, like that. Did you know? I'm not even gonna say it.
I've said this. Doc asks, will the Texas Toast guitars from Gray Court be worth more than the 71st Avenue ones?
We talk about that. Yeah, this is one of the good ones.
One of the good.
It's really not. I remember that guitar.
Now speak kindly now, because there's some people who have those.
Oh
guitars.
yeah, I know. Yeah. But it's
But when imagine, I've talked about this for a long time. What would happen if Paul Reed Smith told you he was going to make 10 guitars this year?
Mm-hmm.
If he announced, hey, guess what, guys? I'm going to make 10 guitars this year. I'm going to make my signature, my model.
Me only.
And I don't care if he goes and pushes the CNC button and has some guy paint it, or paint robot, or if somebody else. Paul said he did it, and they signed a certificate saying he did, and it's got the parlance that goes along with it.
Yep.
How much would that guitar be worth now? It would be a $20,000 to $80,000 guitar.
Okay.
If Paul said he did it.
Okay.
And if you believed it, imagine what would happen once he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
That guitar would double in value overnight or more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the most sought after work of any artist? The first thing that they do or the last thing that they do? I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
Andrew St. Pierre sent us 1999 because he's a cool dude.
He is.
Good to talk to you. Andy the Saint and I talked a little bit today on the Facebook.
Cool.
I haven't talked to him for a while. So yeah.
So I think really what we're saying is you better go buy a PRS.
I think that's exactly what we're saying. Yeah.
Because it's going to be worth more.
Yep.
Sooner. That's my prediction.
Andy says, here's some dollars to sign fuck the haters and don't breathe the catalyzed clear. That's all I got. Guitar Doc says, I guess if I get it, if you had one that was made by Paul Reed Smith, yeah, maybe that's kind of cool. But when the last time Paul actually built a guitar in the shop, just saying, and I don't know, but
it's because he's presumably heading this up,
mm-hmm.
and the next owners will be probably more concerned with profit or more concerned. They won't be concerned with the quality of because they don't know.
It's not it. No one will ever be as passionate about Paul Reed Smith guitars as Paul Reed Smith.
Yeah, no matter how passionate they are, they still won't be as passionate. Yeah, and I've seen this in other industries. Somebody brought up Apple though, and I don't see people going, well, this iPhone's one of the good ones. Yeah.
This MacBook
Steve Jobs,
is a good one. I'm going to use this one for the rest of my life. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I got a good one.
Yeah.
But guitars are that way. Even jeans. I mean, people pay insane money for original Levi Strauss. Apparently when Levi himself was popping every rivet. Yeah,
which he was. Brad wants to know, how do we find Chris's YouTube thingy? Brad, you just look on the Texas Toast deal just like you normally would.
It'll be it's on the Texas Toast site. It's the Sunday live or premiere video on Sunday this week. So it'll be at 5.
Yep.
Right when the Super Bowl's starting.
Yep. The superb owl.
Yep. Which would you rather watch?
I would rather watch you build a Jag.
Yeah.
All right, you Jags. Oh, sorry. So we've got about 8 more minutes, Chris, and I'm gonna start to thank all of our supporters and sponsors now.
Because there's so many, it takes 8
in
minutes.
The hopes that I get them all and don't have to. Blah, 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 blah. So guys, after this video is over, I would love for you to go and check out Dylan Talks Tone. Dylan and his wife Leslie will be rounding out the final hour or 2 of Primetime Guitar Live on Thursdays. I have no idea what their topic is tonight. Maybe you guys drive the topic. But if you are interested, one of the cool things is Dylan is still that guy who makes his own pickup. So when you get a Dylan pickup, as of right now, when it says Dylan on it, Dylan wound that pickup.
Yep.
Dylan scribed his name in the pickup cover. Mm-hmm. And so unlike maybe Paul Reed Smith, who doesn't make guitars anymore, Dylan absolutely does wind his own pickups. Link in the description below, guys. If you want a set of Dylan pickups for your guitar, or if you want us to put them in the guitar we're building for you, we'd be happy to. Let us know. But anyway, link in the description. If you sign up for the $400 guitar building challenge, Dylan's giving you 40% off Dylan pickup. So that's a pretty good deal. So check that out, and we will keep you posted with that. Let's take a super chat from our good buddy, Greg Pearl, who says toasted Texan guitars. You know, Greg actually knows Grover Jackson and Wayne Charvel. So he knows a lot of those dudes too. So yeah.
About that.
Yep. Steve wants to know, did I miss the $400 build info? Steve, all that stuff is on the website. You can get that at any time you want, 24 hours a day. Texas Toast Guitars is just a $400 guitar build challenge drop down menu. I would also like to thank Steve at Maximum Guitar Works. I'm going to be spending all day Monday at Steve's shop. We've got a bunch of projects happening over there. And man, we've been going through Steve templates like they're going out of style. New ones coming in all the time. Neck through stuff, carved top stuff, bass stuff. There's lots and lots and lots of good stuff coming from Steve at Maximum Guitar Works. I'm going to be spending all day Monday out there. So Brian Duncan sent us a super chat and said, good discussion, Chris and Matt. Thank you very much, Brian. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow, man.
Yeah, swing by.
People are loving the Limbo Challengers. That's right.
That you brought.
It's your tequila, or is it gone?
No, it's up there. I see it.
That's hardly enough to last Jim and Brian. But Steve, of course, is a sponsor of the channel, and he's also a sponsor of the $400 guitar build challenge. If you sign up, you will get $100 worth of free templates from Steve at Maximum Guitar Works. I don't know why you wouldn't do that just for that. So
you're making money at that point.
That's right. I would like to thank Bill Hendricks, no relation to Jimmy, at Spin Twist Spray Right Paint Rig. He said you don't have to say the whole thing, but I still like to do it. So
you've memorized it.
Now that I've memorized it,
the spinny paint thing.
Yeah, he says that's okay too. Spinny paint thing. So we love the Spin Twist paint rig, and we'll continue to use it. We'll probably have some more videos coming soon on doing some stuff with that.
I'm going to use it for the guitar that cannot be mentioned. Yeah, I got a very special paint job for that guitar.
Excelente. Let's see. Okay, I would also like to thank Dan and Calvin at Tone Wood Experts. If you use code Texas Toast 15 at Tone Wood Experts, guys, you get 15% off your entire order from Tone Wood Experts. I've been making necks all day. Lots and lots and lots of Honduran mahogany has been turned into kindling and dust, and some necks too. And I love the Honduran mahogany that we get from those guys. It's super nice. Great. Yeah.
And consistent.
Absolutely. The other people that I love so much are John and Cheryl at Bitterroot Guitars. Code TXTOAST at checkout. All this stuff, guys, is in the description below. You can check those dudes out. They are super, super nice people. All of our truss rods come from John and Cheryl. A bunch of other parts that we use come from John and Cheryl. You will not find nicer people in the world, in the guitar industry, much less the world. You might find some people who are as nice.
Everybody on our list is as nice.
Yeah, but no one is nicer than those two. So cool. If you've ever dealt with them, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's see. I'd also like to thank Chris and Dina from Odyssey Beer Works, which, by the way, we are going to be having our superb owl party at Odyssey Beer Works this Sunday. So if you guys want to come by and say hey to, I think Jim is going to be there. And are you going to go, or are you going to?
I'm 50-50 on the deal right now. Yeah.
What if I came to your house and got you?
No. Well. Yeah, but
you could stay at our house if you could pass out at our
Sunday.
Place. Yeah. Putting it out there. So anyway, maybe Kiki will be there. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
So anyhow, so maybe Brian will be there. Who knows who will be there, but we'll be there.
Crappy frozen pizzas.
I think we're no. Jim's making food, and Joy's making food, and there might be crappy frozen pizza. I don't know. You don't know. I would also like to thank Nigel Forstner at Forstner Guitars in Queensland, Australia. If you guys are interested in reading his tome on how to earn a living in the woodworking industry, it's linked in the description below. It's a very good read. It's very fun, and it's worth the money. I would also like to thank our newest sponsor, Stuart McDonald. Link in the description below. Please, guys, if you are going to buy something from Stu Mac, use that link, and we get a little taste. Mm-hmm. And of course, our last but not least, our biggest sponsor of all time, Flipside Music, the great American guitar store. Guys, if you're in the Denver area, please check out the Legacy Shop. And I hope that Ike jumps through enough hoops with the city of Denver that the Destination Shop is going to be on the horizon soon.
I never thought it would be this hard.
I never did. Yeah, I never did either. I never did either.
A new location.
Yep.
But here we are.
Here we are.
He is.
Okay, clearly, guys, Brad Guitar Miller, new lower prices on swanky telly harnesses. Oh, my God, I can't believe I forgot Pedal to the Metal guitars. Thank you, Brad. I'm sorry. I should write all this stuff down, and I need to start with more than 8 minutes left to go. Pedal to the Metal guitars, new low prices on his wired telly harnesses.
Cool.
I've got one floating around here somewhere. Thank you, Brad. Ed Dupree, thank you so much. Guys, we'll see you over at Dylan's channel later on. I got to go. I've got some stuff I got to take care of. So we will see you guys later tomorrow for a JJJ reveal. Holy moly, we should have started early. All right, gang, take it easy. Have a great night, everybody.